Hello folks, hey, this is Robby Bowman. I'm right here in the Great Smoky Mountains, fishing a little bit today. But I just wanted to take this time to talk to you a little bit about my life. You know, kind of like a short version, a biography about my life. You know, I was born and raised in East Tennessee my whole life. We lived on a farm, helping a man with his cattle. Growing up, you know, I lived really wild as a little kid. You know, I loved to be outdoors. You know, I loved the creeks and the water. And when I started school, you know, I realized, you know, I'm not the same person as a lot of these other people. There were a few like me, but not many. And when I started school, you know, I realized, you know, I'm different. And what I couldn't realize, what was different with me compared to the other little kids. And our interest was a big thing. I like to hunt at nighttime. I like to hunt and fish. But it bothered me for a long time what the real difference was. And later on in life, I finally remembered what the problem was. Not really a problem, but it just, you know, we were really poor. And what I meant by going to school that I felt like I wasn't like the other kids is, you know, that they had better, cleaner clothes, shoes, books, papers, you know, and I realized, you know, I'm different. And I'm okay with that though, you know. I had a good life growing up on a farm. I know my mom and dad worked on the farm, you know, lived there to help take care of the cattle for free rent. You know, I spent a lot of time with my grandfather, learning things, and my father. And I found myself 8, 9-year-old running a trap line in the mountains. I'd be trapping coons and possums and foxes, and I would sell the hides for money. And I also dug a lot of ginseng, black snake root, jack in the pulpit, golden seal, star root. You know, them were the things that country people needed to survive and to get money and food for the tables. And so I was a loner. Growing up, I coon hunted by myself all night long. I'm talking 8, 9, 10-year-old. I'd be out all night. My dogs wouldn't come home. I'd lay down in the woods and I'd wake up the next day and the dogs be there with me. But yeah, growing up in the mountains, you know, being, you know, not rich, not really poor, but, you know, it was a struggle in life. And not being like the other people was a problem. And then trapping was my release. I felt comfortable in that environment. And becoming a teenager, you know, starting to, you know, coming to your manhood and stuff, noticing girls and stuff like that. But I still stayed in the woods, y'all. I still stayed in the woods. And as a young person, teenager, you start getting out in the world, and I got a little on the wild side. And I used to cause a lot of trouble. I used to cause a lot of fights. And before I was even 19, 20-year-old, I done had my experience. I don't want no more trouble. I'm done. But it's a better way to live. I went in the military, United States Army. And it was the early 80s back then, and I served in the military, and it helped me find my way in society. You know, it helped me interact with other people. And at the early 20s, I realized, you know, I have a gift working with people. I love working with people. I love working with my hands. And being a hunter and a fisherman all my life, being a mechanic was what I've used to make a living after I got out of the military. So I'm in my 20s, you know, and I'm working in dealerships, Mitsubishi, Toyota, diesel mechanic. That's what I was in the military, was a diesel mechanic. And life was good, you know. I got married once and then got divorced and then got married again, then got divorced. And I'm still feeling lost in the world. I don't know where Robby Bowman belongs. You know, I really didn't. I wasn't happy. Along about that time, you know, I had an injury, broke one of my legs off. at the ankle. And I laid up for 2 years, y'all, trying to get back to be something for society. And later on in life, you know, I married a third time and stuff. I'm still working dealerships, still working payday to payday, but I went out west on a hunting trip. While I was out there, things changed. My whole life changed. Everything I ever knew was no longer important. You know, my job where I was at was no longer important. I was working on skinning out another man's deer, and I had an accident. I ran the knife plumb through my arm. It cut the main artery in my arm. It cut the nerves. It cut the tendons. I'm in the parking lot in Craig, Colorado. I have this accident. I start screaming for help. I grab my arm. I'm watching the blood pour out from my body. I was watching my life leave. That changed my life. After that accident happened, you know, I wasn't able to make a good living no more. I couldn't perform to my best. And no matter what I've done in life, I'd give it my best. And if I can't give it my best, I think, well, this is not for me. Well, that injury made me realize I wasn't where I should have been financially. Over the next several months, over the next several years, I've had several surgeries trying to save my arm. And they talked about, you know, disability and all these other things. But working with my hands my whole life, I needed to find another direction to go so I could be happy. I can find my place here in America. And so I went downstairs, arm tore all to pieces, and I found a pair of tongs that belonged to my grandfather. I put them tongs in my hand. I start rehabilitating myself with them tongs, trying to get my grip back with them tongs and my hammer. And I wanted to contribute to society. I want to put my part in life. And I took that hammer and I took them tongs. I started rehabilitating myself. Now during this time, I've got medical bills. I've got months of lost payment, payroll checks. Y'all, I got to where I didn't know how I was going to pay my house payment. You know, I've worked my whole life, y'all. I can't not work. I can't. As a man, been in the military, I got a wife, I got children, I got grandchildren. Every day I wake up, I ask, what can I do today to make life better for my family? What can I do today to inspire another young child? What can I do today to make somebody smile? And during these troubled times, I didn't know it, but my life is going to go into a new direction. I'm going to fulfill what I'm supposed to do on earth. I'm going to find my direction in life to where I can experience true happiness. And that's working with other people, working with little kids. Y'all, I didn't know where my groceries were going to come from. I was struggling being a man. That knife wound saved my life. It turned me to the direction I was supposed to be. I started forging to make ends meet. I started forging to make a knife, to buy a loaf of bread. I'm going to forge the future for me, my wife, and my kids. With a hammer, a pair of tongs, and an anvil, I started rehabilitating myself. I'm not going to sit at the house, y'all. I'm not going. I got to work. And that determination to make grocery money, that determination to pay my light bill. It was a hammer and an anvil. I started making some knives, y'all, and I started selling them. I can remember growing up, watching my grandfather shoe horses and do blacksmithing. I'm starting to get a burn in me, a burning fire. It's the fire of a forge. And so I started making a living again. I actually went back to work as a mechanic, still making knives to make ends meet, because I wasn't the man I was. I couldn't make the money I wanted. So I supplemented it with forging. And needless to say, God was in it. I seen a new road. A road that takes you down to fire, anvils, tongs, hammers. I seen a new light in my life. It was a forge of fire. It was a forge, it was the fire, it was the fire, it was the forge. Y'all, it was great. I started forging. I got to a point I was overwhelmed with happiness. And that day, I quit my job. The day before, I had a man and a son come to me and want to make a knife. I made a knife with a father and son. And they told me that that was a dream come true for them. I knew my direction in life. I quit my job, y'all. Woo! I picked up that hammer, I grabbed them tongs. I started forging memories with people all over the United States. I would go hunting out west, traveling. I would take my knives with me. I would stop at every mom and pop store all across the United States, folks. I'd carry my knives in there. This is Robby Bowman. I'm going to give you a piece of me. I want these stores to enjoy seeing a custom-made knife that the everyday man can afford. I started making money. It started getting better. I didn't use that money to better my life at that point. I used that money, folks, to get better equipment. I used that money to take me places to meet more people. You know, I used that money to better myself as a man who can support his family by forging. I have forged a new future in my life at the age of 35 to 40-year-old. My whole life changed, y'all. Everything I ever knew was now a memory. I got a whole new life ahead of me, y'all. Forging a memory. Bring me them little kids, y'all. Bring me them grown men who want to feel like an 18-year-old. Woo! Woo, we're gonna have some fun, y'all. Come see me, Robby Bowman, in the Great Smoky Mountains, y'all. Look at God's creation. And I'm right in the middle of it. At the first of my day, I'll see 50 to 100 strangers. By the end of that day, woo, I've made 50 to 100 friends by forging memories. I'm so lucky, y'all, to have the road that I had to take to be where I'm at today. And I'm gonna tell you why. I did it. Nobody helped me. As I became a knife maker, I decided I want to do it full time, y'all. Robby Bowman. This is Robby Bowman, what you see that I make. So, I wanted to be better at it. I wanted to be successful. So what's a recipe of being successful, y'all? Listen to me. I've only got a 9th grade education, y'all. I left school, got my GED, went in the military. You know, it was a long, hard road. But it's that long road, you know, nearly losing my arm, trying to have somebody kill me and break my leg off. It molded me to be the businessman I am today. I did the work, y'all. It was hard work. I did it. I picked the people I wanted to hang out with. I picked the people I wanted to be with. And you know how I picked them people? Because they was an inspiration to me. The man that built my shop in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Bob Benson, is a big key to my success. I couldn't afford to build that, y'all. But this man believed in me, and he built it. Then I went. And now, Iron Mountain Metalcraft in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee is my life. But to be successful, I had to take some pretty hard falls. And I learned pretty quick to be successful in this world, y'all. You gotta partner yourself with positive people. You gotta partner yourself with people who want you to see you successful, not take advantage of you. It happens, y'all. This is the real world. I partner myself with people like Bob Benson, Brad Weiss, Alabama, Damascus, is a huge part of me being successful. Yes, I did it myself, y'all. I did the work. But if it wasn't for these people that I trusted, if it weren't for these people that did not believe in Robby Bowman, I would have never found myself. Brad Weiss. You know, you got all them guys there. They're all a team. My shop here in Iron Mountain Metalcraft is a team. You know, Lacey Smith, I mean, you know, Hog Abrasives in California, Blacksmithing Depot over North Carolina, Kane & Sons, North Carolina tool, folks. I partner myself with other business people who want to see me succeed. When you come into my shop and I find out you want to learn the craft, Robby Bowman's going to come out. The real Robby Bowman, not the businessman. I'm going to give you the information to help me. I'm going to give you these people's phone numbers to help me. so you don't have to go through what I did, y'all. Trust me. I want to forge a memory with everybody. I want Brad to be successful. I want everybody I deal with to be successful. I want everybody to be happy. This is my only life. I about died twice. I watched the blood leave my body until I went out. I woke up in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. I get there, this is on a Tuesday, and they said, we can't fix you. So they just sewed up the flipping wound and sent me back to the motel. Well, Thursday they flew in a doctor from Denver. And I meet him that morning about 5 o'clock in the morning. And I asked him first if he had permission to leave the house, if his mom and dad had permission. He was like 18-year-old, looked like. But anyhow, he fixed me up, wrapped it up, and said, get out of here. That was Thursday. I went hunting Friday. I shot a bull elk with a 7mm Magnum with one arm. When the gun went off, the scope split my head open. I didn't quit. I finished what I was set out to do. I'm not bragging, y'all. No matter what life will throw at you, you can sit and watch yourself die. I watched that blood leave, guys. It was for a reason, to save my life, to forge memories with all of America, and to help other people do what I do, forge a memory. I want you all to be happy. I want you all to be successful. I love you all. Thank you.
Thanks everybody for watching this episode of Forging Friendships with Robby Bowman. I want to thank Robby deeply. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Honor.
You're welcome anytime, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right.
If you want more information on Robby, check out all of his information. All of his sponsors as well are going to be in the description below. Thank you to all those sponsors specifically because they've actually helped put this together so I can get out here and get his story on film. So thank you for that.